Welcome to Amplify, the podcast designed to help you find and unleash your authentic voice. I am your host, Darren L. Harris. Whether you're searching for your voice or ready to sharpen your communication skills, you're in the right place. Each episode, I'll share simple, practical strategies to help you own every room you step in. Here, you'll find education, inspiration, and motivation, all leading to transformation. It's time to turn up the volume on your voice. Let's amplify. Darren L. Harris of Amplify, and I wanted to just come and share with you a few things really quickly. Last night I was in a meeting, and as I was sitting in the meeting, I realized something. And I said to myself, the older I get, the more I realize just how much I don't know. Because there was a time when I was young and I knew it all. I thought I knew it all. But that's the great thing about, just getting older and maturing. It's an opportunity to learn. And that's one of the things that I endeavor to do here on Amplify is because, I'm always learning. I'm a life learner, and I always want to always share what I've learned. I mean, what good is it to gain information, gain knowledge, and not share it with someone? And so it's just going to be really important to do that. And so that's what we're going to be doing here on Amplify with Darren L. Harris. And there's 7 things that's just really important as we begin to talk about communication, and we'll be doing a lot of that. I thought about 7 things that I wanted to share with you as we're preparing to launch on October 3rd, Friday, October 3rd. We're going to come alive at 5, Friday, October 3rd. So we want you to join us. But I thought I'd do a series of short, brief messages so you can get an idea of some of the things that we're going to be talking about, because it really is about leveling up, right? It's about us going and growing to the next level. And the only way that we can grow ourselves is that we got to know ourselves. We have to be honest. We have to be willing to do an introspective look at our lives. And that's one of the things that I have been doing for, I guess, the past 5 years. I really have been thinking and rethinking about my life. And one of the areas that I really had to improve upon, and I'm still doing it, I'm still improving upon it, is in the area of communication. I just believe that if you expect people to buy what you have to say, you have to own the room. And a part of owning the room is having great communication skills. Now, when I'm talking about communication skills, I'm not talking about you just yapping, right? I teach people how to do presentation skills, and that is a skill set that you can learn. And we'll probably get into a little bit of that. But when I think about communication, I'm thinking about listening. Right? Communication is not just one-sided or one way. I know that there are some people, it's my way or the highway. But for me, for Darren L. Harris, for me, what's important is the listening part of communication, because you learn so much when you listen. And a lot of times I'll share with people and I'll say, sometimes, it's important for us to take the cotton out of our ears and stick it in our mouths. Sometimes you just have to do that so that you can listen, because there is something magical, something powerful when you listen intently at people. And so as we're talking about communication, one of the big things that you'll hear me say, one of the consistent things that you'll hear me say is around just listening and the art of listening, because it is an art to it. And so in communication, one of the first things that you learn is that, it builds trust. When you become a great listener, it builds trust. People want to be heard. They want to express themselves, and there's no greater way, no better way to create that trust than just to listen. It's really important because you're going to learn later that you're receiving a lot of information that you could use to really put you in a better position with them. And once again, it's about trust building trust. Another reason why I believe, this is a second reason I'll give to you out of my 7 reasons, is that you become a better problem solver or problem preventer, I should say, when we learn to communicate, right? You become a better problem solver. And here's what I know, and I share this with people too. Look, people will hire you for the problem you solve, not the one you create. And so being a great communicator will give you the ability, of course, to be a great problem solver. You can't solve problems if you don't listen, right? You have to listen so you can understand what the problem is. So, what's your problem? The third thing that I want to say to you about being a great communicator is it helps you to give clarity and direction. Like you, as a leader, as a thought leader, as a social entrepreneur, as a nonprofit leader, as a spiritual leader, it's going to be important for you to be able to give clear direction. Believe it or not, people want to be led. People want to be directed. And when you think about everything that we do on a day to day basis. People want to be told what to do. Believe it or not, they do. They want guidance, they want direction because, many of us, we don't know what to do. So that's why, we go to school because we want to learn how to do things. We want to be told how to do it so that we can be more effective. They want clarity. And so if you're going to be a leader that provides that clarity, then you have to be a great communicator. The fourth thing that I'll say to you about being a great communicator is the fact that, you will be able to build better relationships, which is really important. Everything is relational, and building these relationships are going to be the key to your success or to your failure. And so we want to build better relationships, and being able to communicate will help you to do that. It'll help you to build a brand that's bigger than you when you learn to communicate. When you do this, you build these relationships, and these relationships have a lasting impact. And people, once again, begin to trust you because your ability to communicate. The fifth reason why I believe that it's going to be important for you, for us, as we are building community right here on Amplify with Darren L. Harris, is because it's going to allow us to pick up cues. We'll be able to read people a little bit better. Once again, it's really about listening. For me, communication is about listening, and you can pick up cues. You can see what people's emotional state is and how they're feeling. You can read their body language. We'll get into that. We'll talk a little bit about that because all of these cues are important in terms of how you're going to respond or not respond in your communication. I was sharing with someone the other day, and they were really excited and really upset about something. And I just, in a very calm and monotone way, I said, I hear you, but I can't listen to you when you're yelling. I can hear you, but it's hard for me to listen to you when you're yelling. And so that's really important for us as leaders, social entrepreneurs, as spiritual leaders, as faith leaders. It's going to be important for us to be able to say that. Look, if you want to be effective, you're going to have to be a great communicator. The sixth thing that I'll share with you is it will make you more productive when you become a great communicator, because you actually learn the art of delegating and also expressing what you need and what you don't need. Those things are going to be really important. We'll spend some time on that as well. But in order for you to be a great communicator, those are the things that are going to be important. It'll make you more productive. And so I don't know anyone who doesn't want to be more productive in what they're doing. Look, we don't have time to waste. It is about being productive. It is about getting things done. And if you're able to communicate what it is you want done, then you'll be more productive. When you can communicate with yourself and to yourself, you'll be a better and more productive person. So that's what we're going to be talking about. That's number 6. And here's number 7. This is it. Number 7. I'm done. Number 7, you will be able to make a good impression. And I don't know anyone who doesn't want to make a good impression. It's important. What comes out of your mouth, how you communicate, or the lack thereof, is important. And let me add, and let me say this too, and I'm a firm believer in this. You are the very first person to ever hear what comes out of your mouth. And so a lot of times I'll tell people, watch your mouth, watch your mouth and what comes out of your mouth. And there is an ancient but relevant book that says, from the abundance of the heart speaketh the mouth. And so that's important. And what's also important is what you hear. We're talking about communication. Here's why. Because what you hear affects what you think, and what you think affects what you will do or what you will ultimately become. And so you have to be mindful of your own words, your own communication towards you. You want to make a good impression to you first before making a good impression to everyone else. So I'll leave you with that. Watch your mouth. That's my 7 things that I wanted to share with you really quickly as we're getting ready. We're getting geared up, of course, for the Amplify podcast with Darren L. Harris. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be amazing. As a rundown, communication will, number 1, help you to build trust. Number 2, you'll become a better problem solver and problem preventer. Number 3, it will give you clarity and direction. It will make you a more clear and direct person. Number 4, you will build better relationships. Number 5, it will give you the ability to read and respond to cues of others. Number 6, it'll help you to improve your productivity. And number 7, it'll help you to make a good impression. Because remember, first impressions or lasting impressions. Once again, this is Darren L. Harris. I want you to join me Friday, October 3rd, for our very first inaugural podcast. I just wanted to come and say hello to you and have a blessed day. And remember, silence is not an option.
The more you do things that are natural to you, the less competition you have. You escape competition through authenticity, by being your own self. If I had to summarize how to be successful in life in 2 words, I would just say productize yourself. That's it. Just figure out what it is that you naturally do that the world might want, that you can scale up and turn into a product. And it'll eventually be effortless for you. Yes, there's always work required, but it won't even feel like work to you. It'll feel like play to you. And modern society gives us that opportunity. If you were 2,000 years ago, you're born on a farm, your choices are very limited, right? You're going to do stuff on that farm. Now you can literally wake up and you can move to a different city. You can switch careers. You can switch jobs. You can change the people that you're with. You can change so many things about who you are and who you're with and what you're doing, that there is infinite opportunity out there for you, literally infinite. And so it's much better to treat this like a search function, to find the people who need you the most, to find the work that needs you the most, to find the place you're best suited to be at. And it's worthwhile to spend time in that exploration before diving into exploitation. The biggest mistake in a world with so many choices is premature commitment. If you prematurely commit to being a lawyer or a doctor, and now you've got 5 years invested into that, you might have just completely missed. You might just end up in the wrong profession, the wrong place, the wrong people for 30 years of your life grinding away. And yes, the best time to figure that out was before, but the second best time is now. So just change it.